According to its website, the National Endowment for the Arts is a public agency dedicated to supporting excellence in the arts. You know, stuff like crosses drenched in urine and performance artists covered in honey. But our next guest took part in a conference call between the NEA and artists that seemed to show the organization trying to do something else entirely. In his words, written at Andrew Breitbart's BigHollywood.com, quote, "The NEA and the White House did encourage a hand-picked pro-Obama arts group to address politically controversial issues under contentious national debate. That fact is irrefutable." Meaning, the question, did the Obama administration politicize the NEA and promise public funds to create health care propaganda under the guise of art? That's a big question, but it sounds like it. Joining us now is the man who brought the conference call to light, Patrick Courrielche. Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Good. Now, explain what's going on this phone call.
Well, this group was brought together, a pro-Obama art group was brought together by the White House and the National Endowment for the Arts. Yeah. And they were talking to them and encouraging them to create art about healthcare. Yeah. So, you know, I see this and I'm listening to this while it's happening, and it was very obvious to me what was going on. I mean, it was a hand-picked group that actually worked on Obama's art campaign during his run-up to the presidency.
Now, how did you end up there? How did you end up amongst the group?
I got invited by the National Endowment for the Arts. The invite came, and I looked at it, and I said, I got to be on this phone call. Yeah,
Patrick, I think it has a lot to do with your edgy glasses, because I have those glasses, and whenever I wear them, they always think I'm artsy. I do it. Now, the White House and the NEA said that the purpose of the call was not to further a legislative agenda, but I want to listen to this bite from Buffy Wicks, a great name. She's the Deputy Director of the White House Office of Public Engagement. Here it comes.
We're going to need your help, and we're going to come at you with some specific asks here, but we know that you guys are ready for it and eager to participate. So, one, to thank you, and two, I hope you guys are ready.
I love the laugh. Buffy's adorable. Now, I got to ask you, what does she mean by specific asks? I've never even heard asks used as a noun before, but I think I'm going to start doing it.
Well, the asks came later in the meeting. It was basically to encourage them to select healthcare or energy or the environment and create art on that. And to me, I don't know if you have any kids, Greg. I have a kid. If I give my kid a key to the candy drawer, he's going to get a sugar high.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the way that it is.
Yeah, and I don't have kids. I'm barred from that. Now, I want to play another audio clip. This is from Michael Skolnick. Before I play it, who is he?
Michael Skolnick is the political director for Russell Simmons.
Okay.
That's his title.
All right. Here we go.
The goal of this phone call is through this group that we can create a stronger community amongst ourselves to get involved in things that we're passionate about, as we did during the campaign, but to continue to get involved in those things, to support some of the president's initiatives, but also to do things that we are passionate about and to push the president and push his administration.
So I got to ask you, what does, quote, support some of the president's initiatives mean?
To me, I mean, this is happening in the beginning of August when the town hall meetings are going nuclear. Yeah. I mean, what is it? And you're being asked to talk about health care. What do you think that means? Yeah. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Well, George Will says that laws were broken. What's your take on that?
You know, I'm not a lawyer. I can't speak to that. I can say that it's very direct at what the NEA is supposed to do. They are the largest funder of the arts in the United States, and so they're supposed to support the arts, not use the arts.
Yeah, it's amazing. Within 48 hours of the call, 21 art organizations endorsed Obama's health care reform plan. Some of the art, we have some of the art that was done. Can we show some of this? I got to tell you, for one thing, the idea that they're doing this is disgusting to me, because artists are supposed to be rebels. They're not supposed to do what the administration tells you. That's the first thing. The second thing is the art is really bad. It's awful, Patrick. It's like something third graders do. I mean, they're just pathetic, amateurish muck. But don't you find that, I mean, you're in the creative industries, that it's sad to see people in lockstep when they're supposed to be considered edgy, bohemian types?
Well, you would think that, but unfortunately, they do fall on one side of the political spectrum, and that's just the way that it goes. You know, I mean, that art is not. There is other art that's out there that's better than that, obviously. But that stuff it's hideous.
Yeah. Well, we picked the bad ones because that's the way we are. I got to move on. But the fact is, the bottom line is, it's the government is using our money, to create propaganda. They're calling it art, but it's agit prop. It's wrong. And thank you, Patrick, for uncovering this. And I hope it gets more play because it's an interesting story. It deserves to be out there. Patrick Courrielche, thank you so much. So do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. And to leave a voicemail on my direct line, 212-462-5050. It's that simple. And it's still to come, the Halftime Report from TV's very own Andy Levy.
Tonight's Halftime Report is sponsored by sand, the naturally occurring granular material composed of finely divided rock particles, often difficult to wash off a bathing suit. Thanks, sand.